Bored, Kobayashi looked around the cafe that she found herself in. As far as she could tell, it was what Littlefoot had described to her as a hub loop, which meant that there was no Toru, no Kana, no Elma, no Takia. She was alone, and her apartment was quiet. Hence it went without saying that Kobayashi often left it. Sometimes she went to bars for a drink, and other times she went to places like the cafe that she found herself in. Places where there were a lot of people, where the sounds of society could be heard. Anything to drive off the cold. Which is what found her in a Maid cafe that she had come across recently going through the internet. After all, since it was a hub loop, she could look up her own loop for information. And so far, she was somewhat impressed with some of the things that could be possible variants, such as one where hers and Toru's roles were reversed, and she was a dragon. Kobayashi would be lying if she said that she was not looking forward to that one. Others? Less so. If you see her in the streets, walking by herself, talking to herself, have pity. Toru, you would love it down hub, it's quiet down hub. She is dealing with the unimaginable. We know she can't stay, she will loop away, fading from the day in her memory. You knock me down, I fall apart. Can you imagine? Leaving a site which turned out to have hentai regarding her friends, a look of disgust on her face, Kobayashi wished that she was a dragon. Then she might have taken a page out of Toru's book regarding whoever made it. Yes, she was an otaku and thus understood what some people came up with regarding series, but it was entirely different to see her friends there. Needless to say, she had left the site behind and continued on her look through the internet. But then she came across one that raised her eyebrows. Opening the page, she gave it a once-over before frowning in thought. For several moments, she leaned back and considering what she was reading before gesturing to one of the cafe's waitresses over. Excuse me. Coming over, the young woman gave a smile. Yes, mistress. How may I help you? A small smile on her face, Kobayashi held up an empty cup. I'd like another coffee, please. And a pastry as well. Of course, mistress. I'll have it with you with a short while. Once she headed off, Kobayashi shook her head with a sigh and glanced off the window. The coffee was good, and so were the pastries, but they're nothing like Toru's. Shaking off those thoughts, as well as the hope that the others would start looping soon, she turned back to the scientific paper that she had found. While she was an expert computer programmer, that did not mean that she had picked up enough to have understanding of what was on the screen. Slowly, Kobayashi made her way through the paper with her eyebrows furrowed. When her coffee and pastry came, she simply thanked the waitress and turned back to her computer. Eventually, she frowned and shook her head before looking at the title of the paper and sorting with amusement. Softly, she muttered the title to herself. Analysis and quantitative effects of large breasts on aerodynamic performance in wake of a Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid character. It's quiet down hub, a happiness. Can you imagine? Part of her wondered what sort of reactions she would get from her friends if she ever showed them this paper. If you see her in the streets, walking with a smile, talking with a smile, have pity. She is going through the unimaginable. This tender moment ruined by Mike's Hard Lemonade. In a world gone soft, somebody's gotta be hard.